Today I wanted to talk about how us adults can interact with kids in a way that will scaffold the interaction and the activity for them. And the first one has a whole other video on, and I have tons of resources, is just learning to use declarative language. And tomorrow we'll talk about more about how we can use our verbal skills or verbiage to scaffold. But just know that declarative language is really high up on that list at supporting your child, and we can talk about that more later. The first thing that I like to do with the kids is rehearse, like some sticky situations where they want to order a pizza, or we've just been practicing making phone calls. So I'm like, Cat's Pizza, how can I help you? And they practice being able to say, I'd like a cheese pizza, my name is, my address is, my phone number is, how much will it cost? And have some kind of role play and be like, okay, and get them prepared for things that might happen. Can you please hold? And so that they have, that's not catching them by surprise. And that helps them feel a little bit more prepared for the situation. So role play. Practice between you and your child being like, hey, do you want to play tag? And practice someone saying no thanks and being okay with it. And being like, okay, no worries, I'll ask another friend, or however you want to scaffold that for your child. You're going to want, sometimes it's just arranging those prompts again for the kids. So during an activity, you might have to remind them, oh, look at your list. While they're getting ready for school, oh, look at your list. Instead of you telling them what to do, empowering them to use their own tools. After they've done an activity or something, like, congratulate them on the stuff they did well. I really like it when you did blah, 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 blah. Even if the whole engagement wasn't perfect, even if it wasn't, congratulate them on the little part that they did well. I really like how you asked your friend what they wanted to do today. These last two I would use really sparingly, because it tends to make already anxious kids even more anxious, is debriefing. Being like, oh, so how can you do that differently? Or what fell apart here? It's a strong, really great way to go over an interaction or an activity, but it also heightens the anxiety in kids who are already socially have a lot of anxiety. So yeah, debriefing, being like, oh, well, okay, well, you did this and your friend did that, and then it fell apart here. What could we have done differently? I would use very sparingly. Great tool if your child can handle it. The other one is consult others in the activity. When somebody throws their toy across the room or their game piece and says, I'm done. Oh, how did that make you feel, Susie? How did that make you feel, Mark? And peer feedback is so powerful. I'm telling you, I used to pair two little girls together to do exactly that. They would be like, one would be like, I don't want to do that. I only want to do this. And then I'm like, oh, do you remember last week when the other little girl was like, all she wanted to do was play My Little Ponies and you didn't want to? But now you're doing the same thing. Oh, I don't want to do that. And it just brings it into real world for them. So if you can get someone to give you real life feedback about how they're feeling, or how someone's interactions made them feel, or made their day different, or made it harder for them to get their job done, it will really sink in for the kids. So tomorrow we will cover on how you can change your wording, or for the most part, stop saying so much. And we'll talk again tomorrow.